Alright, what do? You are very depressed, you spend a large amount of time sleeping, hating yourself, and that's the same, and that's the same. Should we head into work? At least you can leave early if it gets too unbearable. Call your boss, tell him you're sick and won't be in today. I think we should take at least like one day off, just rest. In spite of the fact that you know that it's your job and that you should go, you keep fighting yourself every step of the way. Every time you resolve to climb out of bed and just go, your body seems to get heavier and your head gets froggier, and you find yourself unable to actually make yourself move. You grab your phone and dial your boss's number, hoping that it's early enough yet that he won't be there and you can just leave a message. Fortunately, after a couple rings, a voicemail picks up and you leave a message explaining that you're sick and won't be in today. As you hang up the phone, you worry that perhaps your message sounds like a lame excuse. You hope your boss won't call or email you to follow up with your message. But for now, you're too foggy to do much of any sort of thinking. And eventually you fall back into a sleep that is both heavy and restless, with your kitten curled up at your feet, occasionally repositioning as you toss and turn. See, we're getting some sleep. When you wake up the next morning, short of feeling well rested, you actually feel more stressed out. While it was definitely nice to get a break from work, you're now faced with a new problem that you hadn't considered before. You still have to go to work today. While you aren't having the same problem physically getting out of bed you were having yesterday, the prospect of having to face your boss after missing a day of work does not seem appealing on the slightest. You worry that your absence won't be seen as believable or legitimate, that your coworkers and your boss will think you were just trying to half-assedly play hooky. Or worse, you fear that someone will actually ask you what's wrong. Being caught in that instance and having to either make up a half-baked excuse, or worse, that they'll see right through that you and know quickly has your mood matching the drizzly weather outside. You know that you have to go into work, but your fear of being perceived as either lazy or defective is making you regret yesterday's decision to take the day off, and ultimately you feel worse for it. I don't feel like it was a bad decision. I feel like it was a great decision. It's 2 a.m. on a Sunday morning. On a Sunday. It would be morning. And you have work in the morning. That's not a picture now. You roll over to see the sickly green glow of the time displayed on your LED alarm clock and let out an exasperated sigh. You've been trying to fall asleep for over 3 hours now, not to no avail. Every time your head hits the pillow, you're overcome with anxious thoughts that wrap themselves around each other. Worries about your job lead to worries about your future, lead to worries about your very, very identity, and you're unable to shake them off long enough to doze off. Your eyes won't even stay shut as your mind races through imagined scenarios going horribly wrong, which you promptly attribute to your general worthlessness. Your thoughts run too fast for you to come to a satisfying conclusion on any of them. Your room is completely silent, but the silence has given way to a loud static noise rattling around inside your head. Your heart beats loudly and you worry it's beating a little too fast. You worry that if you focus too strongly on your racing heart, you'll freak yourself out hard enough that you have a heart attack. You have to be awake for work in a mere 8 hours, and you know that your work is so much worse on only a few hours sleep. What do you do? 8 hours is plenty of sleep. Force yourself to go to sleep, go to bed. It shouldn't be that hard. Just close your eyes, snap out of it. You're probably going to go into work tomorrow exhausted and F everything up and get fired. Go to your computer. Sleep is clearly not happening no matter how long you lay there. Sure, it's the only thing. You get out of bed and head to your desk. Laying in bed with nothing but your thoughts to keep you company makes you feel like you're going insane. The harshness of the light coming in from the screen makes you squint as you turn it on. Despite how often you find yourself in this exact situation, there have been so many nights lately just like this. As you begin reading a news story, an online friend of your IMs you. Attic, you're up late again, I see. Yeah, can't sleep. Again. Thinking too much again? Thinking. I just read that without even noticing. Thinking. You guessed it. Sad face. Want to talk about it? You end up talking with Attic for quite some time about how you've been feeling. He's always been easy to talk about personal matters, and the added security of talking online helps. Being able to rethink what you say as you type it out and check it before you send it out helps you gather your thoughts, and you find it less intimidating in a way to type it all into a prompt than say it out loud. I don't want to be the guy who thinks they can diagnose something because I read a Wikipedia article, but it kind of sounds like you might have depression. You should talk to someone about that, like a doctor. You pause. Are you really that transparent, or is it that you've gotten used to talking about your feelings at this point? Your insomnia makes you a little paranoid, but you shake it off. We can do research and see if there's a good doctor near you. It's not like you're going back to sleep anytime soon anyway. Might as well do something while you're awake. You know that's okay. You actually have talked to someone about it. You attend therapy but find it difficult to engage with a therapist. Well, that's good. We started actually seeing that. Keep depressed. Alright, so that went back up. Oh, okay. I'm glad you're taking the step. I've heard it's not an easy one. I know people kind of suck at understanding this sort of stuff sometimes, but there's nothing wrong with having depression. You wouldn't be ashamed to have bronchitis or something, so there's no reason to be ashamed of if it's your brain that's sick instead. You spend a few more minutes talking with Attic about your therapy and your feelings about it. He's incredibly supportive, and you're happy to find that you have a confidant that understands your illness and is willing to lend an ear when you're having nights like this. A little while later, you fall back into bed, kitten and towel, and find it easier to drift off to sleep. Even in therapy, you know that you're still gonna have nights like these sometimes. It's good to know you have a friend who will help carry you through them. Alright, so that went back down because I made the right choice. You spent some time on a therapist's couch. You're having difficulty finding motivation to continue going to your session. That went back down too. Still not taking medication though. Alright, well, I'm gonna stop this one here again. I don't know why I keep saying it, because I'm just gonna keep picking right back up. But pick right back up in the next one.